Oh, Mrs. Excuse me.
Anyway, it's a tough act to follow there, Mr. McHatton. Anyway, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Angela, Misty's maid of honor, and Misty's going to be my matron of honor in 2 weeks when I get married too. So Misty and I met at church about 3 years ago and became instant friends. In fact, I often used to tease Misty that when she was searching for the reason why God brought her to BC, that it was really just because he wanted her and I to be good friends. So. Misty is one of the most organized and detail-oriented people I know. She has been known to create monthly budgets for herself, do lots of goal setting, and even schedules Sunday naps into her calendar. I've actually always admired this about Misty, how she can prioritize her time for being alone with God, and now being alone with Ben. And as detail-oriented as Misty can be, and as much as she prides herself on doing things like giving directions, she has actually managed to get me lost on several occasions. I guess that's why she has Ben now, to give her some direction. So speaking of Ben, I've actually had the privilege of developing my own friendship with him, separate from Misty, over the last few years. We really started to become friends when Ben joined a small group that my fiance and I were leading, and it was a really small group because there were only 4 people in it. So we got to know each other really well. One of my favorite traditions that Misty and I have developed is her sleeping over at my house whenever we have a snow day that we know is coming up the next day. Unfortunately, with all this wedding planning, that didn't happen a couple days ago, but during one of those sleepovers last winter, she first told me about her crush on Ben. And at first, I was a little surprised, given the age difference, but then thought about how they kept randomly appearing in Facebook photos together, so the puzzle came together. So just like in the movies, it was literally no more than an hour after Misty informed me of her crush on Ben that Ben called to ask her on their first date. And it was kind of a cute little puppy love. They had been texting, and then he stopped texting her to call to ask her on the date, and then they hung up and started texting to make their arrangements of what they would do. Clearly Ben has game. So today's a very special day for me because I got to witness not just one, but 2 of my very good friends get married. So Ben and Misty, I wish both of you a lifetime of joy and happiness. And you'll always be in my prayers, and I look forward to seeing all that God has in store for you. And Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." And I truly believe that this very day has been a part of God's plan for your lives since you were born, and it's only just the beginning. So, raise your glass with me and a toast to Ben and Misty. Congratulations, and I love you. Cheers.
Thank you, Miss Rita, soon to be Mrs. Johnson. Another addition there. Next we will have the best man, Mr. Matthew Raymond.
All right, those of you who know me know that I'm not a man of big words, so I'll be brief and then I'll be seated. When I first heard about the engagement with Ben and Misty, I was a little concerned. I wasn't quite sure which side of the aisle I was going to sit on, having been good friends with both. And in thinking about what I wanted to say today, I was thinking, well, it's not every day that your best friend gets married to another good friend. And then I got to thinking, well, actually in Chapel Life Church, that happens quite often. So I just want to share a short little story about how I first met Ben. It actually involves Misty. I think it's kind of a funny little story. So Ben came into Capital Life Church a little bit after I did. And those of you that are part of the church know that it's very family-oriented, very family feel to it. And one of the things we like to do after service is to go out and eat almost every week. It gets a little expensive. So Ben comes in first couple of weeks in the church. I meet him, talk to him, get to visit. And the normal routine is sort of the guys stand around and wait for the ladies to decide, where they're going to go, and then we just kind of follow. So that's kind of what we were doing. So I was telling Ben how great the church was, how great the people are, and we were getting ready to go out to eat. And so everybody had kind of planned on they were going to go to this place called Cafe Asia. So okay, so we're getting ready to leave, and Ben and I go up to Cafe Asia, and we're sitting there, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and nobody shows up. Turns out the plans had changed, and they didn't tell me about it. Come to find out, it was Misty and Angela who changed those plans. So here I am with a new guy at the church trying to tell him how great this church is, and nobody showed up. He's thinking some guy in this city, this guy is a loser or something. Needless to say, that was the beginning of a great friendship. Thanks, Misty, for doing that. So the good thing is, we've all heard about how well Misty is a planner. And so the good thing is, she is going to change the plans, Ben. You know that. But now she's going to change them with you. And she's going to include you. So you won't be at that restaurant alone. But in all honesty, congratulations. Couldn't have paired a better match. So here's to the best looking couple in the building.
I do agree they are the best looking couple, aren't they?
Yeah.
Don't you agree? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to actually allow you to finish eating your breakfast, brunch, and then after that we'll have the cake cutting. So finish, eat up, make sure that you sign the guest book. Please do not leave without signing the guest book.